You deserve such a lofty perch. I mean, you drove your sister to psychosis. Whatever she did to you, you asked for it.
Just 1 minute. I'd like a word with you, Miss Kane.
A perfect affair.
I can't see you again.
That's not what you want.
You're selfish, thoughtless. You don't care who you hurt as long as you get what you want.
Oh, I think that you have me confused with someone else.
Not likely.
I beg your pardon. Nothing. Natalie and I were having a private conversation, but we are finished now. If you will excuse me.
Just leave her alone. Or answer to me.
Is Clown giving you a hard time?
No, Trevor, thank you. I can handle him. If you had known this woman as long as I have, you might very well sympathize with my point of view. Excuse me.
What was that about?
First quarter dividend. A prompt return on your interest in my company. You see, at Enchantment, every investor gets exactly the reward he deserves.
What, are you stark raving mad?
What did you expect from me, a toaster? Or did you think that I wouldn't find out until it was too late?
I mean, find out what? What are you talking about?
You are trying to steal my company.
Oh, you are out of your mind.
And you are out of your depth if you think that you can pull this rug out from under me. You are nothing but a slimy reptile, and I'm going to make you sorry that you ever slithered out of your bog. How dare you? How dare you, Erica? Forget about you, so take your foolish accusations. This is not a social call. This is business. And what you know about business, you could fit into a tube of lipstick. So please, just go upstairs.
Oh, now you're barking out orders in my home.
Go buff your toenails or hug a stuffed bunny or whatever it is you do.
What is the matter with you?
She's high on her own ego, as usual.
You know, I don't know whether to call the police or an asylum.
Yes, please, call them all. And while you're at it, call the Security and Exchange Commission. You don't stand a prayer of getting away with this, Mr. Merrick. Oh, maybe you were able to fool this pathetic Natalie, but you certainly don't pull the wool over my eyes with your knight in shining armor routine.
Look, lady, I'm not trying to fool you. I'm trying to eject you from my home.
I mean, unlike this dithering Natalie, I understand exactly who you are. You're just a smooth-talking con man. You think you can come in and buy up the whole town.
Oh, how, you know, why just the town? Why not the state? Why not the entire country?
Would you just get her out of here?
First, I mean, this poor Natalie, of course, that wasn't too much of a challenge. She's such a feeble little thing.
Now, you can stop right there.
Whether in a well or a ball gown, she's just this lump and satchel of need. So then on to the social circuit, also not too terribly difficult for you, not with this damsel on your arm. Really, Mr. Merrick, you should check the woman's palm. She has rope burns from social climbing.
Oh, that is enough, Miss Kane.
Oh, am I the next target, Mr. Merrick? Enchantment? Well, you can stop right there, because unlike Natalie, I am not an easy mark. You will never take over my company, Mr. Merrick. I will fight you to the grave.
If I was interested in taking over your company, I would take over something substantial, not a two-bit rouge and glitter factory. Now, you put Enchantment stock on the market, I bought some. That is the end of the story.
No, it's not.
If I'd known the place was run by a certifiable lunatic, I would have put my money in, well, I don't know, lead pipe, dog food.
Well, you and your bimbo will be dining on dog food if you don't leave my company alone. I'm sorry to interrupt, but Mr. Adam Chadwick...
Oh, Erica. Hello, everyone.
Well, Adam, why didn't you tell me that your wife was delusional?
No, a little eccentric, perhaps.
Don't you dare try to placate him.
Erica, really, I don't think this is the right time to have this meeting.
Adam, if you don't get her out of here, I'm going to rip her vocal cords out of her throat.
Come. Surely we can all sit down.
Look,
and
Adam,
discuss...
why don't you tell her why I happened to buy Enchantment stock?
Oh, there's been some sort of misunderstanding.
Now, tell her.
Here,
Tell her that the only reason I bought the damn stock was because of you.
Federal. Perhaps 20 or 30 meetings a week, Dimitri.
You had a meeting with this corporate vampire?
And I can't come up with the nuts and bolts of any particular session until I've seen my notes.
Yes, well, I'll make it easy for you. Just the broad strokes. Or are you hiding some truth that you don't want to be known?
Adam, you actually met with this man? You offered him my company?
No, I didn't offer him the company. Of course not. We were just laying the groundwork for some future dealing.
Adam's probably getting ready to buy it himself. He loves to steal from his wives.
You lied to me.
You misunderstood me.
Now, understand this. I want to let you know that your husband practically twisted my arm to buy enchantment stock.
You wretched slime. You set me up, didn't you? You set me up. You miserable subhuman.
Look, Mrs.
lie.
Chandler, I think we've had enough acid rain from your tongue today. Now, I should demand an apology, but instead, I'm going to offer my thanks.
Thanks for what?
Well, for the germ of an idea. I mean, I now know what to buy my bride as a token of love and esteem. Enchantment.
I never touch the stuff.
Well, darling, I'm not talking about the product. No, I'm talking about the company.
Dimitri, let's not get carried away. I'm sure at some future date we'll all sit down and look at this misunderstanding and...
Yeah, well, you can dabble in product development. I mean, you can redesign the whole line. Of course, you're going to be the national spokeswoman and the new standard of beauty.
Oh, well, for my dead body.
Well, there you were, your first assignment, the Erica Kane Chandler Memorial Celebration. I mean, something festive.
Dimitri, let's call a halt to this before we all come away sorry. I'm sure we'll all feel better in the morning. We can sit down and discuss this like...
In the morning, some of us won't be alive, Adam. But for those of us who are, just prepare for the biggest fight of your life.
Erica. Wait. Erica.
Good afternoon. I'm Erica Kane. I'm here to see Mr. Merrick.
Do you have an appointment, Miss?
I need to see him. Is he here?
He doesn't wish to be disturbed.
Oh, but it's urgent. Please tell him that I'm here.
I have my instructions. I'm sorry.
It's all right, Sabrina. I'll see Miss Kane.
Very well, sir.
Well, what is it you want, Miss Kane?
To apologize, of course, for my horrible display of my... Oh, Natalie, hello.
Erica?
You were saying?
Yes, may we speak in private?
Well, whatever it is, you can say it in front of Natalie.
Very well. I would like to apologize for my behavior yesterday. Adam did mislead me in telling me about your intentions towards enchantment, but that was no excuse for my slapping you. There are a number of things in my life about which I feel very passionate. My company is one of them. But still, I should never have vented my frustrations on you. Or you, Natalie, for that matter. I'm terribly sorry. I hope you can forgive me.
Well, Erica, you were only being yourself. I've never known you to apologize for that.
Mary?
Yes. By marrying an American citizen,
As usual, Natalie, you misjudge me. My apology was most sincere.
Erica, you're here because of Dimitri's stake in enchantment. You're worried it'll take over. Now, why don't you just admit it?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Natalie. I'm sorry. I had no idea that she was traumatized from that incident in the well and not know who to trust.
Oh, I know exactly whom to trust.
You seem so bent out of shape to me.
Look,
I'm sorry.
Natalie and I have things to do if you have something else to say.
Yes, all right. I have looked into holdings, Mr. Merrick, and I understand that you are involved in land development, mining, and aircraft manufacture. So my question to you is, why are you interested in a cosmetics company? It doesn't seem to be your particular field of expertise, and I'm sure that if Adam had not badgered you into it, you wouldn't have given enchantment a second thought.
All that is true enough.
Well, then why hold on to that stock? I'm willing to buy from you above market. Here's my offer.
It's very generous. But you can put it away. You see, a little homework of my own, Miss Kane. And I'm quite impressed. I mean, Enchantment is a thriving company. And from what I understand, its prospects for future growth are quite bright. Especially with the new weeks in the mall when they're fully launched. Therefore, I have no way of disposing of my stock to you or anyone else. I am going to take company, Miss Kane. As for running it, you're absolutely right. I have no expertise in that field. However, I feel absolutely confident that I can find any number of qualified women. Oh, what about you, darling? Are you interested?
You're serious? You're going to try to take away my company and give it to her?
Yeah, I filed a 13D with the SEC this morning.
Saying you're interested in enchantment?
And that I might acquire more interest and then make a formal takeover bid, yes.
You know, Mr. Merrick, you still have not answered my question. Why enchantment? Why not look to some growth companies in your own field?
Oh, because my field consists of too few crops. I really need to diversify.
I see. Natalie's behind this, isn't she?
Ah, please now, leave my fiancé out of it, Miss Gay.
Well, I see her fingerprints all over this. I certainly don't need an FBI crime report on this. She egged you on, didn't she? Oh, Natalie, you've always been so jealous of me. Can't you give it up? I mean, all you do, you want what I have. The first it was the men in my life, Jeremy and Adam, now my company.
Oh, Erica, this is so typical.
Natalie had nothing to do with my decision.
Oh, please, Mr. Merrick, tell me another.
It's all right, Dimitri. I can handle Ms. Kane.
Oh, not on your best day, you can't. Mr. Merrick, you have made your intentions clear to me. Allow me to do the same. You will rue the day you ever took me on. I may be a woman and I may appear to be delicate. But if it's a fight you want, it's a fight you've got. I'm not afraid to get down and dirty.
So I've been told. Well, I look forward to the battle. May the best person win.
She will.
Actually, I have considerable resources at my beck and call.
They won't be enough. You see, Mr. Merrick, I built that company myself from the ground up. I am enchantment. And even if somehow you manage to get your grubby paws on my company, which you won't, you couldn't keep it going.
I intend to prove you wrong on both counts.
Oh, better men than you found wanting, Mr. Merrick.
Well, if they were found wanting, they weren't better men. As a matter of fact, I think your company is best hands right now. I mean, your balance sheets are attractive, but I think that I can do much.
Has anyone ever told you that you have a grossly inflated ego?
No, are you trying to?
Yes, and I can't wait to stick a pin in it.
Mr. Merrick, I just got a fax through.
Excuse me.
That's all right, Mimi. Miss Kane was just leaving.
Yes, she will. I'll show myself out gladly.
Remind me to send Adam a case of his favorite wine.
You're enjoying this.
Immensely. I owe it all to Adam.
I'm not going to...
Not leaving until I speak with him.
If necessary, I will have you forcibly evicted.
Good luck. In any case, since you won't announce me, Helga, I'll do the honors myself. Oh, Mr. Merrick, of course, I knew I'd find you skulking in here.
I'm sorry.
I guess you're under the impression that you have managed to achieve some new success with my stuff. But let me tell you something, Mr. Merrick. You obviously don't know. Enchantment and I both have very powerful, powerful friends on Wall Street. So you will finally find yourself with your face down in the mud, and I will be crowing.
Now, that's excellent. Flawless timing, Erica.
You are so smug. You are so arrogant.
I would like to introduce you to Dee Dee Dunstan. She will be setting up shortly for taping.
Hello, Erica. I'm a reporter for You Deserve to Know.
The tabloid television show.
Do you have a clue what this does to me?
Shortly for taping.
Hello, Erica. I'm a reporter for You Deserve to Know.
The tabloid television show?
I'm covering the ball tonight, but as long as I'm here, would you repeat for the record your comment about Mr. Merrick's attempt to wrest control of your company, Enchantment?
Well, my goodness, I had no idea that Dimitri was entertaining the press, Dee Dee. But of course, I'd be very, very happy to comment officially on my feeling about the so-called takeover activity. I would like very much, though, to wait for the cameras to be rolling. Unless you have an objection.
Do you have a clue what this does?
Or unofficial that Miss Kane might choose to make?
Excuse me. Bud, get it in here.
It was very kind of you.
Tolerant, I'd say.
Well, there's more than one way to
skin a rat, you know.
Well, if you're intending to air my rodent's qualities to the press, so be it.
Okay, we are ready. All right?
5, 4, 3, 2...
This is Dee Dee Dunstan, reporting from Wildwind, legendary estate of the Merrick family, former mecca for jet-setters, and tonight, for the first time in a decade and a half, the site of a glittering ball for the rich and famous. But this afternoon, while Dimitri Merrick's legion of staff is preparing for the festivities, the host himself is conferring with the dazzling celebrity Erica Kane, founder and CEO of Enchantment Cosmetics. Target for a recent 13D filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission by Mr. Merrick. In other words, a takeover. Miss Kane, what is your reaction?
Well, Dee Dee, in the first place, I must tell you, I think you're jumping to conclusions about this so-called takeover. My goodness, the SEC receives countless frivolous filings every day. Enchantment is not the least bit threatened. As a matter of fact, our market position has never been better. As CEO and founder of Enchantment, of course, I take full credit for our company's success, and I assure you I will remain as head of my company.
Mr. Merrick?
No comment.
Quite frankly, I take his interest in my company to be quite a compliment, and I thank him for it. Thank you very, very much. Mr. Merrick and I understand each other. We are just business friends, and actually, we're near neighbors.
So, yet this afternoon, earlier, you called him rude, arrogant, ruthless.
Oh, my goodness, Dee Dee, I was just teasing him. It was just a little friendly joshing between jousting partners.
What's he teasing?
No comment.
Oh, the truth is, Dee Dee, forget the 13D filing. Mr. Merrick's purchase of such a large block of shares in my company signifies confidence, respect for my company, for its record in the industry, faith in its future. And as a result, it is stimulating our profit potential, and I would like to take this opportunity to announce that will be reflected in next quarter's huge dividend checks. Oh, yes, Enchantment has never been healthier.
So your impromptu visit this afternoon was merely for the purpose of engaging Mr. Merrick in good-natured joshing.
Oh, and also to wish him well, Mr. Merrick and his fiancée, Natalie, to wish them well. You know, she's an old acquaintance of mine as well. Now, where is Natalie? It would be such fun to speak with her. She lives here, you know that. Anyway, where is she?
She's out.
What a shame.
Oh, isn't it? But in any case, have you heard how these two met? I mean, can you imagine in the history of romance that a man and a woman should get so much what they deserve? I really do wish you the best. My sincerest good wishes.
Thank you. Thank you.
And how many times have you and Natalie Hunter locked horns in the past?
Oh, my goodness, we've had little disagreements, I guess. But you know, great leaders, we just never carry grudges.
Why don't you ask me how I feel about Erica Kane, near neighbor and good-natured josher?
I would love to know how you feel,
Well,
Mr. Merrick.
Well, Erica and I have many things in common. We share the same friends and acquaintances, pursue the same interests. And I have a hunch that we'll be spending a lot of time together in the coming months.
You are allies, then? Not enemies.
Well, I have no enemies. Erica?
Not a what?
Cut. That is great. Great. Okay. Now, how about some footage of the two of you acting like your friends? I mean, you know, shaking hands. Maybe a hug or something.
Well, that is entirely up to my guess.
So, when I get back to my office, here's a fax waiting for me.
You played that clever.
Well, I have a lot of experience with the press. Although I must say I was very, very surprised to see them here, Dimitri. My goodness, your prenuptial ball televised. You know something, I pity you. You're doing this all for her. That's very sad.
Well, thank you for your sympathy.
Well, she can have her diamond and she can have her castle. She can have her tacky ball. I guess she can have whatever it is you're foolish enough to give to her, but she may not have enchantment. Not now. Not a few months from now. Not ever. And if you don't believe me, Dimitri, just try it.
Well, what a shame you won't be attending the tacky ball tonight here at the castle.
Oh, wrong again. I wouldn't miss it, Dimitri. I'll be here with my husband, Adam Chandler. The spell's off. I promise you that I am going to come back, and I'm going to visit you very, very soon. I admire you very much, Angelique. Bye-bye.
What do you think you're doing in this room?
I'm here visiting your poor mistreated wife.
She is not mistreated.
Oh, no? Shut away all those years in the sanatorium in Vienna while you carry on with another woman? Oh, that's great treatment. Oh, why don't other husbands treat their wives that way?
You keep your voice down or she'll be upset.
I did not upset her. I came here to visit Angelique. I came here to tell her how much I care about her.
Oh, you insensitive, intrusive little... You're the one that's made her miserable.
Excuse me? I'm not the one who betrayed her. I'm not the one who humiliated her in front of the whole world last night the way you did. You are the one who made her miserable.
Get out.
You are the one who was cruel to her, and you are the one who will answer for it.
I said...
I'm going.
And don't you ever come back.
Oh, excuse me. I told Angelique that I would stand by her, and if that means coming back to visit her, I will.
Yeah, well, don't count on it. Wait a second. What do you have?
Get your hands off me! That is none of your business.
Yeah.
No!
Get her.
Ow!
I don't know.
Let go of me, you brute! Take your hands off me!
Not until you are out of my house.
How dare you attack me? Mr. Mary, let me go!
It's all right, Sabrina. Leave. I can handle this.
Sue you.
Well, just try, you trespassing witch.
You give me back my private property.
Oh, your camera? You want your camera? Here. There, right there. Huh? There you go. Take it.
Ruined it. You had no right to do
Try
that.
a cheap trick like this again, and you will regret it the rest of your life.
Oh, don't you dare threaten me. I've done nothing wrong. And if you think that you can keep your deep, dark secrets hidden from the press, you are a fool.
Yeah, well, my life is no one's business.
Oh, it better be if we plan to keep Angelique safe, if she has any chance for survival at all. I mean, last night must have been very difficult for her, but at least now we know that she is alive. And now we can protect her from being mistreated.
Oh, so you're sneaking in to videotape her was to prove what a humanitarian you are.
Yes, I was trying to help her.
What, by selling this videotape to the highest bidder?
I had no intentions of selling that tape. As a matter of fact, I planned to give it away.
That's even better.
You were who I was going to offer it to first.
Oh, I see. I see. Blackmail. To stop my takeover of enchantment. I mean, you actually think that an idiotic move like that would work? You don't think I would come after you?
You will never get enchantment, Mr. Merrick.
Oh, yes. I will. I am going to nail your little hide to the wall.
Oh, we'll see whose little hide gets nailed first.
What is this? You come barging into my home.
I can, and I have. Because I don't think I have ever been this angry with anyone in my life. And I am going to make you pay for it.
What are you saying? Somebody has to stop her? What?
Long ago.
All right, I'm calling the police.
No, go ahead, do it. Why don't you call the Coast Guard while you're at it, huh? How about it? A night in jail, a little bad publicity? I mean, who cares? A big mistake, Erica. See, I've got nothing to lose now. And that, as you know, makes for a very dangerous enemy.
You know who raped her. You know why she got so upset and ran off.
I inform you that you will pay dearly for trying to capitalize on other people's pain and misfortune.
Misfortune? Well, I don't give a hoot about your misfortune. You're trying to steal my company. And I gave you chance after chance to back off. And you didn't. You ignored me. And I warned you that I would do anything I had to fight you off. And I will, and I have. So don't you dare come in here and pretend that you're the victim. Although, of course, that is in keeping with your past performance, isn't it? Because according to you, it's always somebody else's fault. Helgas and Trevors.
Oh, don't preach to me about mistakes, and don't you underestimate me. I am not a victim. I am not talking about myself or my misfortune. I mean, what kind of filth do you think this is? I mean, what do you think it does to Natalie or to her child?
What I really hate most of all is a man who hides behind a woman's skirts and a child on top of it just to dodge a fair fight.
A fair fight?
Oh, did I break the rules? Oh, did this naughty little businesswoman not play by all the rules, Mr. Merrick? Well, you fight dirty, so why shouldn't I?
Oh, don't show your cards, Erica.
Unlike you, I have nothing to hide. So all your threats and all your silly macho intimidation routine don't work on me. They are to no purpose.
You know something? You are the kind of woman that gives other women a bad name. Oh, yeah, you milk your femininity for all it's worth. And then, bingo, you turn on a dime and demand retribution. Oh, yes, Miss Erica Kane, the crusading feminist.
Proud of it.
Oh, bravo, bravo. But when it suits you, when you want to use it to get what you want, oh, you toss your phony principles right out the window and you turn into a simpering little baby doll, a hypocritical, stupid witch.
Nobody talks to my wife that way, ever. Okay, Erica, that way again. You understand me? Now get up and apologize to her right now. Apologize!
I did not even invite him in, you know. He just barged in here unannounced.
You're both lunatics.
Yeah, but I'll tell you another thing. Wise guy, your attempt to take over Enchantment is going to fail. With a little luck, you'll lose a few $1 million in the bargain.
You lay a hand on my husband, I will call the police.
You know something? You two are really a pair. And you really do deserve each other. And you know something? Now that I seem to have a little extra time on my hands, I am going to dedicate my energies to putting Mr. and Mrs. Adam Chandler right in their place, on top of a rubbish heap, along with the rest of the garbage.
Well, I gave you a little surprise, didn't I? The cavalry charged right in, right at the right moment. Robin Hood defending Maid Mary.
And I don't want you to worry about a thing. Everything is going to be all right.
Joan, how many times do I have to tell you this man is my enemy? Do not allow this man in my office.
Well, clearly your indoctrination didn't work. Joan happens to have a mind of her own.
Do I have to call security and have you ejected? You know something, Trev, luckily the desk clerk buzzed me just the minute she spotted this man. Why didn't you do the same, Joan? What's the matter with you?
Are you going to tell her, or should I?
I can't. Tell me what?
Your secretary has just made the deal of her life. She sold all of her Enchantment stock. To me.
How could you do that, Joan? How could you sell my stock to this spoiler? How could you betray me like that? After all we shared. The warm camaraderie, the intimate lunches. Lunches? Light lunches? Coffee? Joan, did you betray me because the meals weren't large enough? I didn't do this to hurt you. Well, you might as well have taken this and just stabbed me in the heart. I knew she'd make me feel like a creep. Creep? Creep is kind. You are nothing but a backstabbing, infidel traitor.
She's just trying to intimidate me, Joan.
Oh, that is hilarious coming from you. What did you do to win Joan over? Blackmail her? He offered me 3 times the market price. In this economy, who can afford to refuse that? All right, Joan, I'll offer you 5 times the market price, 6 times.
It's a little late.
No, it's up to you, Joan, 10 times. It's not just the money. Mr. Merrick's helping my brother with his career problems.
Your brother? You mean your brother, Eddie, the arc welder?
He's giving Eddie a top job in an Italian design firm.
Just what, may I ask, qualifies Eddie for this top Italian job? I mean, aside from his love of pizza?
Well, I think Eddie just needs a chance.
Oh, Joan, don't you see what he's doing? He is using Eddie, the bane of your existence, the boy who thinks that beer is a major food group. He is
using Eddie, turning him as a lethal weapon against me. This doesn't have anything to do with you. It doesn't have anything to do with me. Are you out of your mind? Why do you think Marek is massaging your Achilles heel?
It's shocking, isn't it? Especially for someone with such pristine business ethics as yourself.
All right, Mary. Clear out.
Oh, you two are remarkably the same and remarkably tedious.
John's just gone over to the enemy camp. I'll pack my things. Oh, pack both your faces while you're at it. Joan sold her shares to Mr. Merrick. I can't believe that she did that. I can't believe it after I was so generous. And I was so concerned about
why
her.
don't you cry in your coffee a little later? Right now, you should face the fact you don't have a prayer.
Why, because you put your hand on 23 measly shares? That's a drop in the bucket.
Yes, but in symbolic terms, my transaction with Joan is the coup de grace. I have just dealt you a deadly blow.
You know, what you did has nothing to do with grace, Mr. Merrick. What you did is you paid a fortune for a pittance.
A pittance? Well, that pittance is going to be your undoing. I mean, I didn't just wrangle a few shares. I bought shares from the executive suite, shares from the right hand of the resident CEO. Now, if I can get to Joan, I can get to anyone. Don't you see? I have already won.
All they have to do is find out about the lease on Center City.
Gloria, that is a stupid piece of paper. Got my name. I'll just...
Surrender now or experience a very, very expensive defeat.
It takes more than one battle to win a war, so you took this one. So what?
We're going to grind you into dust, Dimitri.
You attacked without provocation.
You don't call a physical assault provocation?
I apologize for slapping you.
Oh, what about him? And trespassing, character defamation, false witness?
Oh, really? Trespassing? You know about trespassing. You trespassed on our property today.
If you were referring to the night of the ball, you have to admit you gave us plenty of reason to wonder about you.
Well, now there's no reason to wonder. You want to know who I am. I'm a man who gets things done. And right now, what I want done is I want enchantment.
Oh, really? Well, the question is why? Why, Dimitri? Why? You don't need another company.
Yeah, why? Does it have to be a cosmetics company?
And why my company?
I'm bored. I need some distraction. And right now, stalking enchantment amuses me. Perhaps buying it might amuse me even more.
You're bored? You are going to bring down an entire enterprise because you are bored? Well, thank you very much. You have just solved the puzzle. Thank you. Since you returned from Europe, everyone has been asking, who is this man anyhow? I mean, who is he? Is he dangerous? Is he deep? Who is this man behind this inscrutable stare?
And you have the answer?
Oh, I certainly do. Nothing is behind the inscrutable stare. Nothing whatsoever. There is nothing there. You're just an intriguing large gift package, but no gift inside. You're just an empty shell of a man, Mr. Merrick. You have a big, lonely house and a small, empty heart. And you know what? They're going to stay that way. They're going to stay that way forever. Because you're cold, Mr. Merrick. You wouldn't know emotion if it just leapt up and burned the hair on your face.
Ah, whereas you and your husband are involved in the romance of the century.
At least we feel, Mr. Merrick. There is blood coursing through our veins. We feel fire and we feel passion and, yes, even love. You, however, you are just an emotional empty void.
Well, when you lose all of this, perhaps you'll regret these overdeveloped emotions.
If we didn't have emotions, we wouldn't fight you to begin with. But what we feel is we feel joy of achievement. We feel pride of ownership. We feel bonding with our employees, and we feel hatred for you. And speaking just for myself, I feel pity.
Excuse me, pity?
Yes, because underneath those courtly manners and the mysterious presence, you are just a pathetic man with no connection to anyone. You have no one to care for, no one to love, and no reason to live.
Oh,